Good morning. No, it's not morning. Almost though. I almost made it. I got up and got dressed. And you know how you got the devil on one side and you got the angel on the other? I was like, oh, you don't have to go for a walk today. Yeah, you already did it last night. You can take today off. The angel says, what rule says you can't go for a walk when you get up? Go get your walk in. The devil hushed up and I got dressed. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at that little part of your head that wants you to slip back into the way you used to do things. But I'm strong and I'm determined to stay mobile. Even if it's in the middle of the night goofing off, right? Sneaking out, having fun. Sneaking out, having fun in the middle of the night. Just like it was or should have been when you was a teenager. Just having fun. Doing something that's against the norm, right? How many 65-year-olds sneak out at night to go see the Halloween decorations after dark and hug fire hydrants? Crazy grandma does. You know, I'll tell you the story behind that, why I even was like that. I used to love horror movies. And after the live last night, I said, you know what? I don't want to go to bed right now. I want to watch something. I haven't watched something in a long time. I want to do something totally out of the norm. So my daughter has Max, and she gave me a password so I could watch Max too, but I don't. So I get on Max last night after the live, and number one movie on Max is a horror flick. And I was like, you know, you're going to watch this horror flick and then you're going to be too scared to go to bed. You probably shouldn't watch it. But that was the angel. The devil said, oh, it's Halloween. You got to watch a horror flick. So I sat there and I started watching. And I don't even remember what the name of it was. Began with an S. And it starred Demi Moore. And I like Demi Moore. I figured Demi Moore, she played in my favorite all-time movie, Ghost, with Patrick Swayze. How bad can it get, right? Tell you what, the first half hour of that movie, I was like, nope, not today. Nope, not tonight, not today. I was like, I am not watching this. I was so freaked out. I was like, how am I going to change my mind? I got to do something. I got to turn this off. This is within a half hour of this movie. I was like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, hell no. And I could have turned it off because I was feeling unsafe. I could have just turned it off and went to go find some carbs and eat like crazy. Maybe a bag of popcorn. But instead it was like, all right, what's your new I'm stressed out mechanism here? You got to find it. And it was like, walk. So I decided to throw on my sweatshirt jacket, and go goof off outside in the middle of the night, act crazy, have fun, right? I had to change those thoughts. Instead of being scared, nervous, and eating a billion carbs like popcorn because, I'm freaking out, That's my childhood mechanism of feeling unsafe. I learned it when I was a kid. What's now? What's new? What's new is you get up and go for a walk. And you know what? It worked, because for the rest of the night, I didn't think about that movie. It's like, nope. So I turned a moment I was nervous, scared, freaking out, to going outside and acting goofy, go for a walk. I slept like a baby. It's changing habits, changing your thinking, your thoughts, changing your whole lifestyle, changing your learned behavior, one step at a time. You know, I could have fallen into that trap. Go found something to eat, and like I did during that thunderstorm, and I had all that ham, and I just stuffed my face. That was old learning habits, or old learned habits. What I learned when I was like 8, 9 years old. Oh, I didn't see the ghost last night. That's where we were last night. Or early this morning, I should say. I didn't see the ghost behind the dragons. So yeah, gotta have fun, right? Gotta have fun. And that's what it's all about. Go out and hug a fire hydrant in the middle of the night. That's a new behavior, right? Do something totally different. So instead, I shared a moment with my granddaughter, Emma, and we goofed off outside. So because of that scary movie, I had a fun time last night. Didn't finish the movie by any means, and I won't either. It was just really creepy. Really creepy. Yeah, it was creepy, but fun. It was fun. I turned it into fun. Good times. Creating memories, positive ones. You know, I'm all about memories, making blankets for a certain person and throwing in all these great, wonderful memories. Even though the person that you're giving this blanket to don't have a clue that I stuffed or that I thought about these memories in that blanket as I'm making it. Like, for example, for my daughter. I made my daughter a blanket for Christmas. And so as I'm making this blanket for her, I'm thinking about her entire life. The day of her birth, the day of being pregnant, delivering her alone. When I did give birth, it was just me and her in that room. Everyone thought that. Nurse said, "Oh, get dressed, we're going to send you home." Brandy thought, "Oh, hell no, I'm going to be born right here and there." So I thought of all this. So I poured all these memories in this blanket. And as I'm making it, I call them my memory blankets. And I do the same thing now. When I'm making a blanket and I'm sitting in the lives, I sit there and I just think about, all the positive, fun things during that live, especially if I know I'm going to be, gifting this blanket to people that help support the channel, right? So I'm adding memories to my blankets. Now, the hope of it is after I'm gone, I know I'm getting morbid, Grandma's getting morbid, but after I'm gone, there's gonna come times when maybe Brandy's feeling sad or she's cold, and she'll take that blanket and she'll snuggle up against it and she'll remember me. She's gonna know, yeah, my mom made this blanket, and maybe she'll add her memories of me to that blanket. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys, but yeah. So when you make a gift, when you hand make it, it's so important because you're adding, love and, all this beautiful emotions, into that blanket, and it carries on to the person that you're giving it to. So when I create things out of crochet, those skeins of yarn, it's like an empty canvas to a painter, and you start just creating something out of joy and love and being creative. And yeah, you can do that with anything. Yeah, so that's something that I definitely do that's different. Creating good memories is important. This Friday, I'll be late on my live. Why? Because I'm going to do something to create good and fun memories for my grandchildren. Grandma's going to be handing out candy with their mom, It's going to be a fun moment, right? They're going to remember that. They're not going to remember all the horrible things of my past. They're going to remember all the good things of Grandma, especially when Grandma's gone. They're going to have some good memories. So yeah, at 65, I'm creating or helping to create good memories. Even in my crocheting. So see how crocheting does so much for somebody. Your art does so much for somebody. And for yourself. And it just started because, you feel like being created, or because you're trying to change a habit when you're stressed. I can pick up a crochet hook, guys, and I can create something. I'm going to say I can create something beautiful, because beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, right? I think it's beautiful. Therefore it is. I know my memory blankets, as I call them, the whole concept behind them is weird, is crazy, but I really believe in them, guys. I really believe in them. I know that having a nice cozy blanket on a cold night, and you're comfortable, you're relaxed, you're snuggled up, and You gotta be thinking of, even if you're in a bad mood, you put on a nice comfy blanket and it's calming. Hopefully that's for my daughter, it's calming, and she can think of good times. She can remember me and fun times, and and knowing she's loved. Yes, baby girl, mama loves you. I even made my dog a memory blanket. Told you. Grandma's crazy. I've been telling you that from the beginning. I'm called Crazy Grandma. I made it to the corner. One corner to the other, right? It's a cold day today too, guys. I'm glad Cindy talked me into put on a jacket. Well, it's not really a jacket. I call it a jacket. A sweatshirt jacket, a pullover. Yeah, I'm tired. Must have been because I was up goofing off last night. And again, that's all about memories, guys. Having a good time. Yeah, so when you're stressed, change it up. Go do something crazy, like go out and hug a fire hydrant. Share it with your grandkid. Like she said, Grandma, I know you're crazy. I've known it for a long time. But crazy in a good way. In a fun way. I'm plotting a prank on my daughter. My daughter, Jenny, she's always pranking me. All the time. So, I'm developing a prank. Since I know she isn't going to watch this, because I don't think she watches all my videos. She's too busy for that. I ordered from New Orleans a voodoo doll. Yeah, voodoo doll. I'm going to stick a pin into the belly of this voodoo doll and put it on her windshield one night. And when she gets up the next day, she's going to see this voodoo doll. She's always pranking me, guys. Now, I doubt anything's going to happen. No bad spirit or anything. I don't think voodoo dolls are real, and I don't think that this is a true New Orleans voodoo doll. I'm sure it was a pretend. So, but I'm not going to do no spells over it or nothing. I'll pray over it. Sprinkle some holy water on it. But I want to catch her reaction to seeing this. Right? Yeah? Grandma's being crazy. Of course, I'm not going to own up to it that it was me. Of course, unless she watches this video, which I doubt she will. But she's always trying to prank me. So I'm going to prank her right back. It's definitely fall, guys. Fall is amongst us. Ah, my head down. Ah, my driveway seems so far away right now. Ah, you know, I really love our lives. I have so much fun in them. Everyone is so great and wonderful. 9 p.m. Eastern every night, guys. Come check out our lives. 7 days a week. We're there. Sometimes we laugh till we cry. Sometimes we simply just cry. We uplift everybody. We're nice to everybody. We try to be positive. Spread all the happy vibes. And every now and again, Grandma tells a gross story of trying to become healthy and stop eating the brown rice. Stop eating the white rice and try eating brown rice because it's supposed to be healthy. Well, I've proven on that theory wrong. So yeah, we tell crazy stories. We have other people sharing their crazy embarrassment stories, and we all just have a good laugh. You know, building good memories, good vibes, right? Isn't that what life is all about? You know, so many of us, you know, that's trying to lose weight. We spent so much time in our life, you know, feeling negative, feeling bad, feeling shamed. We spend so much time feeling like we're our family's embarrassment. You know, add your negative feeling anywhere in that. We just spend so much time at it. You know, we're alone, we're lonely. How many of you guys are sitting down, alone, afraid, in pain, you know, and you want to change your life, bring in positivity, you know, getting rid of that being alone and start sharing your life stories of positivity, what changed. You know, that's what our group brings, guys. Have a few laughs. You know, you're not alone, guys. And I have you guys, and I don't feel alone anymore. I feel like it's almost like I don't know, I'm wrapped up in a cozy blanket full of great memories, right? That's what you guys all bring to me. With a little bit of help along the way. We're sharing positivity. We're sharing great ideas. It's up to you whether or not you're going to enact them and make it part of your life. You know? It's almost like every day it's something new, something more positive, something great. You know? Together we're strong, as John would say. You know, then you got Candy who talks about, you know, staying positive. You know, developing good vibes, growing, getting healthy. Isn't that what all this is all about? And I strongly believe that carnivore is about not just losing weight, guys. It helps you in every way. It heals your mind. less confusion. You know, when you're starting something like this, a journey of weight loss, you're not just losing weight. It's not about just losing weight. You have the power, you have a way of changing your life, and it starts with mental clarity. Yeah, carnivore helps the physical, but it also helps that mental clarity so you can think again. You can get rid of all the negative craze in your life, the negative ways of thinking, and rewire your brain. Carnivore helps you rewire your brain, your thinking. I really believe that, guys. I really believe that. I have tried everything. Nothing has helped me be positive before. Nothing helped me, with the crazy thinking. Yeah, but I'm crazy anyways, guys, even before, I think I was crazy before I was even born. I was born in a hurricane, so there you go, right? My mom used to say, you were born in a hurricane. Ouch. My ex-husband used to sing me that song, Hurricane by, who's the singers? That Crosby, Stills and Nash, I believe it was. So he used to dedicate Hurricane to me because of things like last night, going outside and just having fun. You know? My foot hurts. I got a kink in my ankle. Must know I'm getting over my walk. Now it wants to kink up on me. So yeah. I know I probably don't make a lot of sense today. Boy, oh boy. Look at all these leaves. You gotta come out here and I gotta get some bags or something and clean these up. Oh, would be helpful if I unlock the door first, right? So yeah. Be more positive. Have fun, guys. Life is too short to be all depressed and, that's accepting death, isn't it? I gotta sit down, guys. My foot's got a kink in it. I got a kink. Yeah, life's too short, guys. I wish I would have learned this when I was like 30. All this started, this whole walk, this whole thought was because I watched that darn movie last night and had to change something so I wouldn't go to bed thinking about this horrible stuff in my head from watching that dang movie. And how instead of eating, I came out here and walked and became silly and had a good time. And that put me in a totally different headspace. So yeah, that's what all this is about, is changing your headspace. Growing. You're still growing. You're still learning. You just got to change your behavioral habits. What did you do when you was stressful? What did you do when you was fearful? What did you do when something made you really sad? What did you do? If, whatever. What is it? What was it you did? And if it was harmful to self, you got to find new ways of dealing with it. And I'm still growing and learning new ways, guys. It's only 3 months in, and I know what I have to do. I have to rewire my brain. I wish it was easy to do it, but it isn't. It's developing positive things in your life and how you respond to the negative things in your life. And I haven't been tested yet. Well, I was a little bit watching that movie. I was tested. I knew better not to watch that movie because I know me. But I did it anyway. So that was a test last night. How are you going to react to something fearful and scary and morbid and, oh my God, that's awful, that's gross? Why would you watch something like that when you know what your response is? Your response is, ooh, I don't feel safe. I got to go eat. You know what? I did reach out to eat something now that I think about it. Remember all those bags of chips? One of the small ones is gone because I started to eat those chips and I was like, I can't do this. I got to get up and go. And that's when I had to, because I saw myself going right down that rabbit hole. Because if it weren't the chips, what am I going to eat all them bags of pork rinds? At least I reached for pork rinds, right? But still, I realized you're going right down that rabbit hole. You're not changing anything. So I had to stop the movie and go for a walk. So that's, I had to change it up. And I had to change it up, hurry. And that was the 7-year-old's way of responding to feeling unsafe, right? That's the 7-year-old's response to when you're scared, when you're unsafe. What do? You reach for a bag of chips, you reach for candy, you reach for sugar, because all those things make you feel good. And I started that last night, guys. I started to do that last night. All right, so I confess. But it was just the pork rinds, and boom, I was up and realized what I was doing, and I went for a walk, and I became a goofball, changing my thinking altogether. So yeah, there you have it, guys. So yeah, I'm feeling good about being able to do that in the middle of the night. It really feels like it's going to downpour at any minute. But there you have it. Yeah, I spoke too much today. I'm almost 40 minutes in, guys. I got to go inside. Yeah, gotta go inside, guys. I got things I gotta do. I've got all this yarn that I haven't put away yet because I want to do a yarn thing, a video on my yarn, my yarn shopping. And I have not done that yet. So I've got all this yarn not put away and it's driving me crazy. So I got to go in, do my little video of my yarn shopping so I can put away all this yarn I have all over the place. So I'm going in to do a yarn video so I can get this out of the way and work on my yarn room. I hate clutter, and my yarn room has turned into clutter. It drives me crazy. And so I go in there and I have to close my eyes and then hurry up and get to my chair and not look at my yarn wall because it's a disaster. All right, so enough talking. So I'm going to say, really, just be kind, be nice to one another and yourself. And that's the key right there, guys. I say that every day. Be kind to one another, but it starts with yourself first, So be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Love on your pet. Consider adopting. Consider, rescuing. And on that note, even though it's got gloomy skies, have a nice day, guys. And remember, come to the lives. We're here for you. All you have to do is step in the room and say hi. And everyone will jump on you with positivity and just think you're wonderful for joining with us. So do come and share your stories. That's one of the things about our lives is we share our stories. That's so important to share where you come from, where you've been, and how you're doing. So share. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Toodaloo. See ya later.